Nice to see you. Today we're going to talk about how I wrote my song, The Weird One. I'm also going to be presenting a couple of updates on songwriting and my process and all that fun stuff. As usual, I have outlined timestamps in my description. If you want to skip ahead to certain parts of the video, feel free to do that. I will not tell anyone our secret. So the background of this story is pretty simple. I have two sisters. I'm the oldest of three. They both have birthdays in May. My birthday is in August, and I don't know, I felt like I wanted to write them a song for their birthday, but a song about the three of us is nice, but a song that highlights all the ways in which we're different is pretty special to me. I think that there's something really, really beautiful about the symmetry of the number 3. There's always going to be one person that's more different than the other two if there are 3 people in a group, and I wanted to highlight that in this song. So here's how I started. First of all, I have invested, I think it was like $5 or $10 or something, in these awesome timer things, these little time cubes. You pick the amount of minutes that you are going to be doing something, and you flip it so that that number is on top, and you let it just be, and it starts. So you don't have to spend like 1,000 hours pressing a button. You don't have to look at your phone. I really like that. I like not having my phone nearby when I write a song. So what I did was I spent 10 minutes free writing a page on myself and both of my sisters. So a total of 30 minutes, just writing everything I could think of that made me and each of my sisters stand out from the 3 of us. Of course, I had the most to say about myself because I know myself the best. I had some things that were not necessarily the most flattering about all of us, including myself, but it's free writing, it's free association, so that's fine. After I finished writing, I went through again and I underlined the things that I thought would make good verses or would be worth mentioning in the song. Like for me, I got a college degree. Secretly intentional, like I did have some, I was kind of a secretive kid, I think. I have 1 extra uvula, that's true. I'm weird. My sister Megan, loves pickles and wieners. She's never ashamed, all the stuff that I said in the song. For Janet, that green sweatshirt. Janet wore this neon green sweatshirt to school one day, and like the next week, everyone had a neon green sweatshirt. She's like that. After I did that free writing exercise, I went straight into harmony and chords. So let's talk about that for a little bit. I wanted to choose a key that I haven't really done very much of, so I chose to start on E major. So I'm not sure what it is exactly about chords that are a major second apart that are both major, but that really, really appeals to me. It's not common in common practice harmony. Usually a 2 chord in a scale is minor. So like if you're playing in C major, then the 2 chord D is a D minor chord. What I did was I did C major and D major 7. Something about that combination of major chord, whole step lower, major 7, really gives me this feeling of like calm travels. Just makes me feel like I can just express what's gonna happen, and it's got very, I don't know, it feels like it doesn't have any judgment. And then I did a little G. That's pretty much it for the verses. Because I alluded to the G in the verses, I wanted to put that in the chorus too. The chorus, which is really just the B section. So it's one of those other like combinations that I like that's not a normal harmonic combination in classical theory. It's G major, E major. And I do that twice. One more time. And then for the last line is actually 2 lines. I do A major, and and then D7, and then back to E major for the next verse. So that's the harmonic structure of this one. It is different. It's very different from, I won't say that it's completely different from anything I've ever done, but it's different from how I've been going lately, which is nice. It's actually pretty similar to how I used to write maybe 7 or 8 years ago. So it was nice to go back there. Once I had that harmonic structure in my mind, I was able to go back and write the verses. I had ideas, then I had a chord structure in mind, then I wrote the verses in this song. And it's really important when you write a song for someone and you know that they're going to see it and hear it. It's important to know that, like, to be able to paint them in a positive light, which I hope I did. I hope I did that well. Personally, with my sister Megan, we have not had the strongest relationship in childhood, so I didn't have as many like positive memories as with Janet. But I think I did a pretty good job of appreciating what's great about her in the song. And I'm not going to read every single verse to you because you can just look at the song for that. Basically, the structure is just A, B, A, B, A, B. Then I did an instrumental solo, and then one last B section, or chorus, really. There's 7 lines for each A section. I thought that would be nice because I didn't have a very solid rhyme scheme. I didn't have a solid like rhythmic word scheme to it. I felt like having 7 lines of words would help make up for the time if it takes up 8 lines worth of stuff. Like it would kind of compensate a little bit. The one thing that all the A sections have in common is the first line. Just that I first list the order in which we're born and then what color our hair is. Just very, very superficial facts about us, like who do you see when I'm talking about this. The B section is much more structured in terms of lyrics. Basically, the first line is always blank is the weird one, either me, Megan, or Janet, or in the last line, we all are. The second line is another thing that is weird. Third line is the same as the first. Fourth line lists 2 things about why we're weird. That's pretty much it for how the song was written. I decided this time to include a clarinet solo for the first time in my videos. Clarinet performance was actually my major. I know I play trumpet in most of my videos, but I actually was a pretty good clarinet player for a long time. The instrument that I was playing is my A clarinet, so I'm not as comfortable with the sound in the upper register, so I kept it low. My improv skills are weak sauce. I have to tell you, I really struggle with that because I wish I was better at it. It's one of those things that I need to practice a lot more than I do. I wrote out this little solo, and I'm pretty sure I've played most of it. It's nice when you play an instrumental solo to start with something really simple and then have something that you can expand on. So for example, in the second line I did da-dun, da-dun, da-da-dun, and then I kind of put that in other places, that same idea, da-dun, da-dun. To develop it a little more, I put a little mass of triplets in there. I don't know if you can see that. To develop it a little more, I put a little mass of triplets, and then again going back to that da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. It's good to have repetition in an instrumental solo. I'm kind of proud of how it turned out. I think that the weirdness of it really well reflects the weirdness of us, me and my sisters, because yeah, we're a little different, I think. We're all different from each other, and we're different from a lot of people, but I think we're all very enjoyable to spend time with and to be with. I hope that was projected to you. Before I leave, I wanted to just talk a little bit about some odds and ends things, just so you know what's happening. First of all, I have started working out of this book, The Songwriting Without Boundaries. I really am liking the structure so far. I only did day 1, but it's basically, it's getting used to speed writing. So today we're just writing about what you see and smell and taste. It's like observing your senses with a prompt. So today I spent 5 minutes on sky, 10 minutes on the word crash, and then there's a 90-second portion, and the prompt was lily pad. So I spent some time writing this morning. It took about 20 minutes. It was awesome. I'm hoping that me doing that, if I make that a daily practice, I can find ideas a lot more easily and, you know, maybe write some songs that have a more cohesive rhyme scheme. Not that that's always the goal, but it's nice to be thinking about ways that something can be better. That's where I am. If you want to do this with me, I only did day 1, so you'd only be like a couple days behind me. I'll probably be updating you on how things are going on a weekly basis, and probably be getting some ideas through this writing. It's been requested that I do some ear training videos, so I'm going to work on those very soon. They're going to take a little bit of time, and it will be a series, so I'll probably release ear training videos on Thursdays. Keep an eye out for those. I'm going to be going on a couple of trips in the next coming months, including one that starts on Thursday, and I'll be back probably Wednesday night. So I'm going to be gone for a little while. That means that I have to batch record some stuff, and I may not be responding to every comment every day at that time. Probably won't, because I'll want to be enjoying myself on the trips. Please know if I don't respond right away, I still love you, and I'm still so grateful that you're here and watching, and your support is amazing, and it means so much to me. That's what's gonna happen. So thank you so much for watching and listening and being amazing viewers and supporters and friends. Until next time, stay mindful, stay musical, stay out of trouble.